Have you ever looked at house prices in Ghana and thought, how does a house in Ghana cost more than a house in America? How is that even possible? Well, today we are breaking down this puzzle. We are going to find out what hidden forces are making houses in Ghana some of the priciest in all of West Africa. In 2025, the Minister of Works and Housing confirmed that for every 20 Ghanaians, only one can afford to buy a house without financial assistance. So you think that developers would rush to build affordable housing, but they are not. Instead of building for the masses, developers seem to be building for the top 5% of the market, and that of course leaves this giant gap. So to really get to why they seem to be turning a blind eye to the 19 out of 20 people who need affordable homes, we will dig into what it actually costs to build a house in Ghana. Let's start at the very beginning. Every single house starts with two basic things: land and materials. Simple, right? Well, not in Ghana. Here, both of those fundamentals come with huge costs. Buying land in Ghana can be a bit of a nightmare. It is shockingly common for one plot of land to be sold to several different people. This has people stuck in legal battles for years. And so to avoid that chaos, people pay a huge premium for land that they know has a clean, undisputed title. Now, about building materials. The Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry reports that 80% of building materials in Ghana are imported. 80%. We are talking about almost everything, from steel to cement clinker to roofing, even light fixtures. It's all coming from abroad. So every single time the Ghana cedi weakens, the cost of building a house just goes up. And to protect themselves from that risk, developers price their houses in dollars. This immediately pushes them even further out of reach for anyone earning their salary in cities. Even local families price their old homes in US dollars to act as a currency shield against the cedi's depreciation. So we've got very expensive land and imported materials that get pricier all the time. What else could there be? How about the cost of money itself? In Ghana, borrowing money is incredibly expensive. Whether you are a developer trying to start a project or a family trying to build a home. Data from the Ghana Association of Banks shows that the baseline reference rate for lending averaged just 23% in 2025. And so a 5 million cedi loan at that rate balloons to over 10 million cedis in just 4 years. And there's no way the developer will eat that cost. It is passed directly to you, the buyer. And just when you think it can't get any more expensive, there's another hidden cost. In a lot of these new developments, there is an infrastructure deficit. No roads, no water pipes, no electricity grid, nothing. The developer has to build all of that basic infrastructure from the ground up. And that infrastructure cost adds on to the final price of a home. So if all these factors make it nearly impossible for the average local to buy a house, then who is buying them? This brings us to the final and maybe the most important piece of the entire puzzle. The huge influence of the Ghanaian diaspora and other international buyers. Look at the difference between these two buyer profiles. On one hand, you have the local buyer earning in fluctuating cedis. On the other hand, you have the diaspora buyer who earns in stable dollars or euros. Now, if you are a developer, which customer are you going to build for? It's a pretty easy choice, isn't it? So here they are, all laid out. The 5 big killers of affordability that we've just walked through. And any single one of them would be enough to make housing expensive. But the problem is, they all lock together. They feed off each other, creating this vicious cycle that puts a safe, decent home out of reach for the vast majority of people who actually live and work in Ghana. So, when next you see a house with an astronomical price tag in Ghana, remember, the buyer isn't just paying for a house, they are paying for the friction of a dysfunctional system. This has been a Finex Insights data story. Thank you for watching till the end. Don't forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe. See you in our next one.